1, 2, 1, 2, sweet mic check. Hello, good morning, I'm Spike, and welcome to another self-taught Japanese in Rosetta Stone 3. Welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another day and another video of my documenting my journey and progress in this program, teaching myself Japanese. So yesterday, vocabulary was done in a little bit of a rush, I would say, just because I was pressed for time. But I'm hoping that sense of urgency and haste actually made it a little bit more entertaining, even if I was flying through the slides a little bit quick. Again, just trying a little bit of different methods here and there in presentation and how I'm going about things, just to see what does and doesn't work. Again, I think the content still stands up for itself, and there's only so much you can do with pronunciation. There's only so much I can comment on when it's just a talking exercise. And the same for the vocabulary, where it's repeating some of that stuff from the pronunciation side of things. But also the material that we'd already covered in the whole of core lesson 1, even in the lesson 2 stuff for this particular section. Yes, anyway, today we are on to the grammar section. So this one's going to be this is going to be an extra 10 minutes. It's supposed to go for 10 minutes, the same as the repeat from the first module section. So hopefully it'll be a little bit more involved, a little bit more on the writing side. I envisage that it will be highlighting the was, the knows, the need, and so on and so forth. That's in between our main actors, our main characters of the spotlight in a sentence, just to depict where there is change in the grammar that's denoting whether it is your right. Let's take this as well here. Excuse me. Where we have like for hang on, let's get this in line. We've got he, his, him, and his, determined by wa, no, ni, nomino, after the formative noun, whether it's watashi or kare wa, sore, etc. So I envisage that's what today's module is going to look like in the way it presents to me. So that's what I'm expecting. So that's what I would expect you guys to expect. I could be wrong. Memory serves from doing these grammar exercises from last year into this year. Obviously, I'm not doing these often enough in a day-to-day basis. I'm only doing one a day unless it's been repeated, and then moving on to the next type of exercise. So it's a little bit of an issue for me to remember from, just starting back up the repetitive process of going through these modules. I'm only hitting 4 of them in any one particular run in a unit. So, and the time that it takes to get through a unit to the next one for the repetitive cycle of that pattern for the way I'm doing this material obviously makes it a little bit difficult for me to remember exactly how it's going to be presented without just doing it and showing you. But here we are. So we'll find out together. Other than that, I think yesterday, vocabulary was done quite well. Same with the pronunciation. I had more mistakes in the pronunciation lessons than I did in the vocabulary. Which again, for yesterday and being a little bit on the hasty side, having to hit the parenting help meeting that I had to be a part of yesterday. Excuse me, I've had my coffee and my can of Monster this morning. Again, still yawning. Shouldn't be happening, but it is, so my apologies. But yes, yesterday's haste, I'm hoping, produced a pretty damn good video from what I remember of it. Having done quite a lot yesterday, it was fun for me to do, and it was also fun to go through at that kind of haste without hanging on too many things. The only issue I'm likely to see is there's less time to pause between each section of the material. So if that's an issue for you, please leave a comment in the video itself of that. It'd be much appreciated if that happens to be the feedback for that one particular video. Right, moving on. we'll be cracking on with the grammar. Thank you for joining me on today and continuing support for those who do. As always, you can always like, follow, share, and subscribe at twitch.tv/xofficina and youtube.com/xofficina. Shameless plug to get us started. Anyone you may know, obviously share alike to those who might have an interest to this channel and this content. It'd be very much appreciated to get them on board, even if it's something you don't necessarily participate in with me, but still just watch the videos or listen to them, put them in the background, etc. It means a great deal to me in your support for that. So let's crack on. Before we do the mic setup, I'm gonna, as always, reveal the reference sheets I have: Japanese hiragana alphabet, my growing katakana alphabet. It's coming along nicely. This sheet will eventually get redone to be a much neater, much nicer on both sides alphabet sheet for reference. Oh, excuse me again. The next one, we have my numbers and the tenses. As you can see here, we have the I, me, I, my, me, and mine. He, his, him, and his. She, her, and hers. You, your, and yours. Depending, and you can see there, wa, no, ni, nomino as the way to go through the tenses, top to bottom. Across the board, they, their, them, and theirs. As you can see, got quite a fair bit on the old tenses. That's always good. And then our third page, obviously we've got the slightly more contextual stuff of interaction when it comes to days of the week. It's smelly, it's good, it tastes bad, it's delicious. We've got the seasons here, day, month, week, year, and some of this example stuff of as big as and as small as, with your Yori and the Hodo at the bottom. Again, glad that I put them on the reference sheet because yesterday and the day before it did come up. So that it was worth putting on the sheet. So it might continue to be a theme throughout this unit as we get into the more complicated stuff. So without further ado, I'm going to set up the microphone. Ichi, ni, san, yon, go. Fantastic. Let's get fluided up. Get the tongue and the mouth loosened up. Let's crack on and let's give it a go and see what we've got.
この男の子はサッカーが好きです。
Nice. この男の子はサッカーが好きです。He likes football.
この男の子は人参が好きではありません。
ああ、この男の子は人参が好きではありません。He doesn't like his carrots.
この男の人はゴルフが好きです。
この男の人はゴルフ。Hey, it's the golf is back again. が好きです。Man likes playing golf.
この男の子はテニスが好きではありません。
この男の子はテニスが好きではありません。I keep saying 好きです。好きでは and it's 好きでは because we shorten the す to 好きではありません. He doesn't like to play tennis. There we are. That's our first slide. Not bad. We're only doing 10. So it's expecting us to take a minute on each. Again, the grammar is highlighted in red. And it's showing us the does like this, because we've got the positive. And then we've also got the negative here. Tsuki dewa arimasen. So he does not like. The boy does not like his carrots. The boy does not like his tennis. The boy does like his football, and the man does like his golf. Let's go slide 2.
この女の子は馬が好き。
Des, because she does like it. She's smiling, she's happy.
この女の子は馬が好きです。この女の子はジュースが好き。
Dewa arimasen, because she's clearly showing the pushback against the juice. She doesn't like the juice.
この女の子はジュースが好きではありません。
彼はオレンジが好き。
this guy does like his oranges. He seems quite happy picking them up. Look at that armful. 彼はオレンジが好きです。
彼はオレンジが好きです。彼はオレンジが好き。
ではありません. He does not like the oranges. Although the previous slide picture that this came out for was for him wanting to
彼は
know
オ
the
レ
price
ン
of
ジ
them.
が好きではありません。
Maybe that's why he doesn't like them. They're too expensive. Oh dear, another yawn. But there we have it. この女の子は馬が好きです。This girl likes horses. この女の子はジュースが好きではありません. The girl does not like juice. 彼はオレンジが好きです. He does like his oranges. 彼はオレンジが好きではありません. He does not like his oranges. Let's go slide 3. Oh, here we go. No audio, but just a sentence. So the first one that it's asking for, she doesn't like football. Right, immediately that's going to be this first one. この女の子はサッカーをするのが好きではありません。
この女の子はサッカーをするのが好きではありません。
Cool. Whereas this goalkeeper, he does like his football. Otherwise, he wouldn't be a goalkeeper, right? So, which one of these are we looking for? We're not talking about the girl, Kanoja. We're not talking about swimming or yoga. So, この男の人はサッカーをするのが好きです。
この男の人はサッカーをするのが好きです。
Now we're going to running. So we're going to be looking for hashite or hashiru, etc. So it's going to be this middle one, which 彼女は走るのが好きです.
彼女は走るのが好きです。
Or she likes to run. Or she's on a run. Next one is a boy who likes swimming. Well, we know that it's going to be Kare because we're talking about the boy rather than about someone from a third person. So it'll only be Kare, Konojo, or Watashi. And we've only got one position that we can select from, one sentence we can select from that fulfills any one of the correct starting points of the sentence, which is Kare wa oyogo no ga suki desu.
彼は泳ぐのが好きです。
There we go, close enough in pronunciation. And then this next one, she's talking about herself, I. So Watashi is the only one out of these that it can be. We've got this little triangle here to denote speech bubble. So, 私は本を読むのが好きです。
私は本を読むのが好きです。
Fantastic. And there we go. Those slides, 3 out of the 10 is not so bad. Let's go slide 4. See what we got.
この男の子はテニスをする。好きではありません。
I thought so. It was going to be Noga. Noga.
この男の子はテニスをする。
Noga.
この男の子はテニスをするのが好きではありません。この女の人はテニスをする。
Yeah. They all Noga. They must all be Noga. Noga, Noga. Yeah, they're all Noga. It shows how much I know.
この男の子はテニスをす
Not
る。
much.
好きではありませ
They're
ん。
all Noga.
この男の子はテニスをするのが好きではありません。この女の人はテニスをする。
So
好
first
き
one.
です。
この男の子はテニスをするのが好きではありません。Second one. この女の人はテニスをするのが好きです。
この女の人はテニスをするのが好きです。
彼女は本を読む。
のが好きです。
彼女は本を読むのが好きです。彼は料理する。好きです。彼は料理するのが好きです。
私はラジオを聞く。
Yeah.
好き。
好きです。
私はラジオを聞くのが好きです。
Mm-hmm. Nice. 私はラジオを聞くのが好きです。It's being able to do these little tiny jumps of inflection and cadence in between hard sounds and soft sounds at speed that I think will be my biggest flaw when it comes to speaking Japanese. I think it's going to be my weakest point in the Japanese language. My understanding might be good, my translation might be relatively okay. My recognition of how to structuralize and grammatize a sentence, not so bad, bar the odd bit here and there like this particular exercise. But I do think that speaking at speed in fluency, utilizing some of these things, it's going to be the weakest part of I can feel it right now. I think talking Japanese at speed with the right tone and cadence shift between words as well. It's the gapping of which bits are said fast as if they're together, even though they're written separated, versus those that seem to be joined together and spoken. I think that's where my weakness in Japanese is going to lie. I can feel it already. I think it's going to be one of those things. No matter how much time I put into it, it's probably something I will never be able to properly shore up without some serious professional assistance, or just potentially naturalizing myself as a Japanese citizen and living with it every day, day to day, and picking it up alongside having that professional assistance. But that's okay. I can accept that. I'd rather speak Japanese fluently and slowly to get it correct. I think they'd probably respect me more as a gaijin if I did that than anything else. Rather than butchering the language where it would just seem like I'm taking odd pauses in the sentence at odd times where it's not needed to be taken because I'm trying to speak at speed like they do, and it just won't work. But anyway, I digress. Let's go slide 5. So it's showing us the yori, the as big as. So the first one is about juice. 男の子はお母さんよりたくさんのジュースを持っています。
男の子はお母さんよりたくさんのジュースを持っています。
Yeah, that sounded really good. I'm glad I got that one right. Here we go. Okay. So now, yep, it's going to be the one with the T, which is ocha. So we're talking about this middle one again. 男の人は奥さんほどたくさんのお茶を持っていません。I can get that a bit better. 男の人は奥さんほどたくさんのお茶を持っていません。
男の人は奥さんほどたくさんのお茶を持っていません。
Okay. That makes me feel good that I can speak it, and then when I'm listening to the playback, I'm pretty damn close. Pretty damn close. I enjoyed that. Okay, so here we have sensei and gakusei, so we know it's going to be this one. So, sensei wa gakusei yori takusan no hon o motte imasu.
先生は学生よりたくさんの本を持っています。
Yeah, God, that does fill you with happiness and confidence. It really does. Oh dear. Right, we've got three out of 5. Let's go for these bottom two. What have we got here? So, we're talking about pan no motteimasen. So it's going to be this one. Let's make sure that we can go. No, it is going to be this one. So, otoko no hito wa okusan hodo takusan pan o motteimasen.
男の人は奥さんほどたくさんパンを持っていません。
Yeah. Yeah, it's so good. And she clearly has more money than he does. So we're talking about okane. So here we are. You're going to change it up from Oksan to Goshujin because the perspective has changed from the male to the female perspective as the first primary subject. 女の人はご主人よりたくさんのお金を持っています。
女の人はご主人よりたくさんお金を持っています。
Yeah, we like that. So the boy has more juice than his mum. The man has less juice or less tea than his wife. The teacher has more books than the student. The man has less bread than his wife, or not as much as. And the lady has more money than her husband. Cool, let's go slide 6. Let's go!
女の子はお母さん。たくさんのオレンジを持っています。
女の子はお母さんよりたくさんのオレンジを持っています。
女の子はお母さんよりたくさんのオレンジを持っています。
男の人は奥さん。たくさんパンを持っていません。
ほどたくさんパンを持っていません。
男の人は奥さんほどたくさんパンを持っていません。男の人は奥さん。たくさんパンを持っています。
男の人は奥さんよりたくさんパンを持っています。
男の人は奥さんよりたくさんパンを持っています。女の人はご主人。たくさんお金を持っていません。
女の人はご主人ほどたくさんお金を持っていません。
女の人はご主人ほどたくさんお金を持っていません。女の人はご主人。たくさんお金を持っています。
女の人はご主人よりたくさんお金を持っています。
女の人はご主人よりたくさんお金を持っています。
Fantastic. We got it. We got it. Well, there we go. She has more oranges than her mum. He has less bread than his wife. He has more bread than his wife. She has less money than he does. And she has more money than he does. Fantastic. Let's go.
どちらのシャツが好きですか？
Ah. I want to do this one, but I have a feeling it's this one.
どちらのシャツが茶色ですか？どちらのおもちゃが小さいですか？
どちらの動物が大きいですか？
So which animal is bigger? Which No, anyway, do you like the bigger animal, or which is the biggest animal? Which is the brown shirt? Which shirt do you like? Or do you like this shirt? Maybe. Oh, this is one I'm gonna have to look up. Where's my phone? Oh, it's in my pocket. Ladybug from my daughter, somehow in pocket. I've just launched it on the floor. Ah, it's gone. Whatever. What's it doing in my pocket? Right, we need to. I need to figure out what this sentence is translated back as, because I know it's a question. What's the question for? Dochira. No, but yeah, there we go. Well, I'm not going to get a translation of it. No, it is. Let's find it. Where is it? Let me see. Which one is bigger? So the first one is which one is bigger. The next one is which t-shirt is brown. I assume Suki must be black, right? And I mean the t-shirt. So the chira no shatsu ya Suki desu. Oh, which t-shirt do you prefer? And then which toy is smaller? So yeah, which animal is bigger? Which t-shirt is brown? Which shirt do you like? Or do you prefer? Because Suki seems to be prefer. So an example sentence that I'm pulling this from. Niku to sakana to dochira nga suki desu ka? Meaning, which one do you prefer, meat or fish? Classic simple phrasing of a question with this wording in it that you can see shows how Japanese is if you read it backwards, you get the translation in English forwards, right? So niku to sakana. Niku is meat, sakana is fish. So niku to sakana to is meat or fish. Dochira nga suki desu ka? Or dochira nga suki desu ka is which one do you prefer? So if we extrapolate both of those onto this, on this exercise, we know that Orki is bigger and Chisai is smaller. And we know that Dobutsu is the animal, Shatsu is t-shirt, Chido is the color brown. We know that Shatsu is t-shirt and Omocha is toy. So we can extrapolate that Dochira no Dobutsu ga Orki desu ka is which animal is larger. Dochira no shatsu ga chairo desu ka? Which shirt is brown? Dochira no shatsu ga suki desu ka? Which shirt do you like or prefer? And then dochira no omocha ga chisai desu ka? Which toy is smaller? And we'll move on to the next slide from that.
どちら果物
Oh, of course it's going to be no. I'm an idiot.
どちら
No
果物
が赤い
どちらの果物が赤いですか
どちら、シャツ、ピンク。どちらのシャツがピンクですか？どちら、おもちゃ。どちらのおもちゃが大きいですか？
どちら靴どちらの靴が好きですか？
どちら動物どちらの動物が小さいですか
どちら家どちらの家が好きですか？
There we go. So, どちらの果物が赤いですか? Which fruit is red? どちらのシャツがピンクですか? Which shirt is pink? どちらのおもちゃが大きいですか? Which toy is bigger? どちらの靴が好きですか? Which shoe do you prefer? どちらの動物が小さいですか? Which animal is smaller? And どちらの家が好きですか? Which house do you prefer? Or which house do you like? Cool. Let's go slow down. Let's see what we've got. Aha. So this guy likes his football over his tennis. 私はサッカーよりテニスの方が好きです。
私はサッカーよりテニスの方が好きです。
And this one will be about fruit. What we got here? We got an apple and an orange. So we know it's not this one. This is about soccer and tennis. We know it's not this one. It's about something green and blue. Yeah. So here we have Watashi wa oranji yori ringo. Here we go. So Watashi wa oranji yori ringo no hao ga suki desu.
私はオレンジよりリンゴの方が好きです。
Now we're on about the shoes. So, we know it's not oranji or ringo. We know it's not saka and tennis. So it must be this one. Watashi wa midori no kutsu yori aoi kutsu no hou ga suki desu. Watashi wa midori no kutsu yori aoi kutsu no hou ga suki desu. That's really tough ends there. No hou ga. No hou ga suki desu.
私は緑の靴より青い靴の方が好きです。
Oh, it is hou ga. Okay, cool. So I'm trying to flatten and be more subtle, and I don't need to be in this instance. Again, a classic example of where the cadence and the tonality of what you're saying with the tension of the syllable, whether it's a hard or soft jump from one to the next is, like I said, going to be the weakness in my speaking of where it happens and where it doesn't happen. I can see me applying it in places where it does happen and I don't do it, or the opposite, where it's supposed to happen and I don't do it, and that's what I think is going to happen. Anyway, where are we? So it's not going to be the saka tennis, it's not going to be orange or ringo, so it must be the one in the middle. Watashi wa shiroi one piece yori akai one piece no hou ga suki desu.
私は白いワンピースより赤いワンピースの方が好きです。
Yes. Fantastic. So I prefer football over tennis. I prefer this orange, or I prefer this apple over the orange because it's bigger. Watashi wa midori no kutsu yori I prefer the blue shoe over the green, and she prefers the red. Yeah, she prefers the red dress over the white. Let's go to slide 10. Let's go, last slide.
私はジュース、牛乳の方が好きです。
Yes.
私はジュースより牛乳の方が好きです。
私は青いシャツより黒いシャツ方が私は青いシャツより黒いシャツの方が好きです。私はピンクの自転車より緑の自転車の方好き。私はピンクの自転車より緑の自転車の方が好きです。私はコーヒー、お茶の方が好きです。私はコーヒーよりお茶の方が好きです。
私は古い家より新しい家方が好きです。私は古い家より新しい家の方が好きです。
私はサッカーよりテニスの方。私はサッカーよりテニスの方が好きです。
See, I like exercises like this because you have to just pick three different parts of the grammar of the sentence. Each one provides the example for the previous one or the one ahead of it. But it's just sorting to tie in what the previous sections from 2 to 9 have been doing grammar-wise. Haven't necessarily been highlighted. So we were choosing whether this person preferred the bigger glass of milk, whether they preferred something over something in both these instances, And it's asking us the different sections. Are we hitting up yori for it? Are we hitting up the no for it? Are we hitting up that nya before the skides for it? Oh, just filling in the holes, the bits that are the filler when it comes into context. So, watashi wa juice yori gyunyu no hou ga suki desu. Watashi wa aoi shatsu yori kuroi shatsu no hou ga suki desu. Watashi wa pinku no jitensha yori midori no jitensha no hou ga suki desu. Watashi wa kohi yori ocha no hou ga suki desu. Watashi wa furui yori atarashi ie no hou ga suki desu. Watashi wa saka yori tenisu no hou ga suki desu. Fantastic. I'll just quickly return home to show that we've just completed that grammar module, and we're going straight on to the lesson 1 section of unit 4 module. It's just going to be repeated. So
彼
let's
女
go.
は石鹸がいります。
She doesn't have any soap. Kanojo wa seken ga irimasu. Fantastic.
私はサングラスがいります。
She doesn't have any sunglasses. Watashi wa sunglassu ga irimasu.
彼女はお金がいります。
She doesn't have any money. Oh, Kanojo wa okane ga irimasu. My apologies for the yawn.
彼ははしごがいります。
Kare wa hashigo ga irimasu. Fantastic. So she doesn't have any money, he doesn't have a ladder, I don't have my sunglasses, and she doesn't have her soap. Cool, let's go slide 2.
彼は果物を売っています。
Kare wa kudamono o utte imasu. She's selling vegetables. No, he's selling fruit. My bad.
私は新しい傘を買っています。
I'm selling an umbrella.
彼女は野菜を売っています。
She is selling vegetables.
彼は古い帽子を買っています。
He is buying an old hat. Kare wa furui bushi o katte imasu. Watashi wa atarashi kasa o katte imasu. Kare wa kudamono o utte imasu. And kanojo wa yasai o utte imasu. Slide 3, let's go.
彼はタオルいりま
Yeah,
す。
irimasu. He doesn't have a
彼
towel.
はタオルがいります。彼女はサングラス。 彼女はサングラスがいります。
彼は車売っています。
彼は車を売っています。He's selling a car.
彼は車を売っています。彼女は花
を売っています。She's selling
彼女は花を売っています。
There we go. Fantastic. This repetition stuff's a lot easier since as soon as you do the next unit lessons modules, and then you have to go back and repeat the previous lessons unit modules, it does get easier. You can feel it. You can feel it in the response of how those things go. Let's go to slide 4.
私は新しい車買っています。私は新しい車を買っています。
彼は傘いります。彼は傘がいります。
彼はメガネいります。彼はメガネがいります。
彼は古い車彼は古い車を買っています。
Yes. He bought the old car. So, 私は新しい車を買っています。彼は傘がいります。彼はメガネがいります。彼は古い車を買っています。Slide 5, let's go. どこでパンを買いますか? Where do you get
ど
your
こ
bread?
でパンを買いますか?
And she gets her bread. パン屋でパンを買います。I can get my bread at the bakery.
パン屋でパンを買います。
she's buying drugs. So, 彼女は薬屋で薬を買っています。She's buying drugs from the drugstore.
彼女は薬屋で薬を買っています。
And they are enjoying jewelry, which is hoseki. Hoseki. 私たちは宝石店で宝石を売っています。
私たちは宝石店で宝石を売っています。
There we go. Fabuloso. That's halfway through on the repeat of the prior lessons modules.
どこケーキを買いどこでケーキを買いますか？
ケーキ屋でケーキ。ケーキ屋でケーキを買います。
彼女は金物や買い物をしています。彼女は金物屋で買い物をしています。
彼らはスーパーで野菜彼らはスーパーで野菜を買っています。
Which again becomes quite clear. So, どこでケーキを買いますか？ケーキ屋でケーキを買います。彼女は金物屋で買い物をしています。And then finally, 彼らはスーパーで野菜を買っています。Just slide 7.
私のテレビは壊れています。
Well, his TV is broken, so 私のテレビは壊れています。
壊れたテレビ。
And that's just broken TV.
私のはしごは壊れていません。
私のはしごは壊れていません。My ladder is not broken.
壊れたおもちゃ。
Broken toy. 壊れたおもちゃ。There you go. Nice simple slide there, but giving us a ramp up into what's coming in the next 3 slides. So slide 8.
僕のおもちゃはいます。僕のおもちゃは壊れています。
私のメガネはいません。私のメガネは壊れていません。
ラジオ。壊れたラジオ。電話。壊れた電話。
So, 壊れた is for the singular item spoken without pluralizing or using nouns or adjectives to describe them in context with other things, whether it be people or an action. So that's just a broken radio. But to put it in context when it's in someone's hands, it becomes correte. This then being used in a sentence gives it that what would it be, an adverb? Yeah, because it's a descriptive quote. Yeah, maybe. I was never too great in my English denominations of what words are noun, adjective, verb, adverb, etc. Either way, you can see the difference. Using it in a sentence with the context and a person around it, whether they're speaking about the thing with them or in context with using the object, it in this instance broken becomes correte, as opposed to when it's a broken thing by itself or a broke object, as in broke radio, broke phone, rather than broken radio or broken phone, it's correta. It's a very slight difference there. So slide 9. What have we got? The supermarket is over a bridge. Doesn't matter. Anyway,
スーパーは橋の近くにあります。
Yeah, supermarket is over the bridge. Next one is the hospital. So, 薬屋は病院の近くにあります。It's nearby the hospital.
薬屋は病院の近くにあります。
And this one will be, it's got to be the only one on the picture. 金物屋は本屋の近くにあります。Hardware store?
金物屋は本屋の近くにあります。
Hardware store and the bookstore are nearby. or are close. So slide 10.
パン屋はパイン通りあります。
No, of course it was knee.
Pie.
Boo.
パン屋はパイン通り。
Sorry, ni arimasu.
パン屋はパイン通りにあります。
So,
本屋は
the bakery is
公
close.
園の近
Oh, it's
く
down the road, sorry.
あります。
Panya wa pandori ni arimasu. The bakery is down the road. Honya wa koen no chikaku ni arimasu. The
本
bookstore is
屋は
through the
公
park
園
or
の
near the
近く
park.
にあります。
金物屋は本屋の近く。
Chikaku ni arimasu.
金物屋は本屋の近くに
The
あ
tool
りま
store
す。
is near the bookstore. Yes, slides managed to get done with very, very few mistakes today, which I was not expecting for the grammar module. I was fully expecting to get a lot more wrong today, like I usually do in the grammar, but that was not the case. Just a couple of mistakes there, just a couple of repeats that weren't even full repeats because I didn't get fully incorrect into those particular slide pictorials, so I'm quite happy with that. That's a really good turnout for today for a slightly longer video. But there it is. That's the grammar video done for today. It's the grammar material covered on the 12th, so that would lead us into doing this is where it starts to ramp up, the reading of things. This is where it takes a little bit more of my attention and definitely ramps up the concentration for me to try and get things right. So again, I'd say the first 2 or 3 sections of module in any particular unit lesson seems to be the more fun, let's lull you in, get you into it bit. And then it ramps up in and around the middle. A couple of the reading and the writing, I think, are probably where the turning point is. The reading is the first part, then the writing ramps it up to the harder difficulty. So this is where it starts to make you think. And then the listening is definitely one of the hardest sections of this. The listening and reading for sure. And then the speaking back, very much like pronunciation on the first, but the speaking really does rely on you getting the sounding right to get recognized, to be able to get the marks. So yeah, we're starting to hit the turning point where it should be getting a little bit more difficult and a little bit more involved. So taxing that concentration and stress testing that memory recall and memory retention function for the language and the material. And then it'll keep that harder difficulty up there and slowly graduate it up until we get towards the end for the speaking and then the review, which is just the program's best selection of sections out of all of this material here in that one piece. And then we'll be ready for core lesson 3. So, we're getting there. We start of the week, we've gone from Wednesday, it's now Thursday today, so we're just getting into the middle of this section before the weekend. So, we'll get to just past halfway as we hit the weekend. So that's not too bad. It's a good output production. But tomorrow will be the reading module. However, that's all for today's, which was these 2 grammar modules. I hope you've enjoyed what I made today with regards to this video and the material that's out there. Thank you all for joining me on this particular module and in this video. It's very much appreciated for your support, whether you're watching at home, whether you are playing along or not, whether you've just stuck it on in the background to wake up to or to listen to, just to pass the time, doing an activity, whatever. It's all very much appreciated with your support, so thank you very much. If you'd like to show your support or further your support, you can do as always, like, follow, share and subscribe. It really does mean the world to me. It really does help keep us afloat over here. And you can catch us twitch.tv/xofficina and youtube.com/xofficina. Find me on one platform, you can find me on the other. They both link to each other. All details are on both pages that you could ever possibly need to get in touch, to add, to like, to share. Either platform, whichever you prefer, or both would obviously be more preferable. Again, everything that I do is free for now. I don't intend on monetizing anything anytime soon unless the opportunity presents itself. Just my other services to do with mental health, neurodivergence, my music, the actual day job stuff that I do with this company, that stuff is chargeable, but that's obviously not content at the moment. So this thing is just for the love of the hobby of wanting to document me teaching myself Japanese, which I'm hoping will help others see that, you can teach yourself a language from scratch if you have the right tools, the right mindset and wherewithal, and know how to teach yourself with what works. So if you've got a teaching methods that you think would apply to this and you want to teach yourself a language and this interests you, maybe it's this particular set of materials that I'm using that might be able to help you in your journey. So again, stick the video on, just have a listen and a watch through, whether you want some of the video, most of the video, or all of the video, whatever helps you. I'm hoping that I'm providing enough here to get your teeth stuck into, give you a little bit of, again, it's free stuff, it's free material, for those who might not be able to afford a teacher, budget for any app or subscription service or language pack for your favorite apps. Hopefully this is a free resource that people can come and use and utilize, play along at home, have a little bit of fun, try not to take things too seriously here, even though this is something I'm seriously into doing. Just looking to help others in their journeys with the things that they might enjoy. It might be a shared interest. Speaking of which, if you wish to let me know what you think or feel with any of the videos, comment in the videos down below. Any of them that you feel needs improvement, let me know. If a specific video has an issue in it, comment on the specific video. If not, jump into the Discord. The Discord links are on both pages and you can join up for free. It is the best way to DM me direct regarding any of this content stuff. So yeah, feel free to add me there. Also trying to build a little community over there where anyone who does come in from this content, if you'd like to practice the speaking part of Japanese, like we would do in school, where you get the speaking exercises, you had to stand up or recite what you've done in your homework or whatever, and actually speak French, German, Latin, Italian, whatever the language was at the school. In this case, it's going to be Japanese, but anyone who's wanting to practice speaking in Japanese to each other, or shore up some notes and all the rest of it, that's primarily what my Discord is there for at the moment. And that's what I'm trying to at least foster in the following and the people that are adding and such, that you can find a home there where we can, just chat on a headset or in typing and, just learn and teach and chat to each other about any notes and feedback, etc. So I hope to find those that are following, liking, sharing and subscribing, coming over to the Discord, just giving it a quick ad, and having a quick chat on there, to try and help shore each other's skills up, basically. If not, it's where you can find out any of my other material, any of my other online activities, such as streaming games, where you can make a request, you can join in the live chats, or you can come and join in as a friend or foe in any of the games that I happen to play that you might play also, or take requests for games and see about potentially investing in that game if I don't already have it to play with you. Right, that's all from me today. I think I should probably sign it off there. I hope you've enjoyed your time with me in watching this live stream or watching this video at a later date if you're watching it on YouTube. Thank you very much for your support. As always, like, follow, share, and subscribe. It's twitch.tv/xofficina and youtube.com/xofficina. And I guess I will see you all tomorrow for the next module, which is reading. So without further ado, as always, take care, stay safe, keep sane, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.